Salok Second Guru, what should one speak to him who himself knows everything? Supreme is he whose order cannot be challenged. He is the Lord, subject to whose order act the kings, nobles, and commanders. Nanak says, whatever pleases him, that alone is the good deed. Those who have to go subject to the Lord's command, nothing is in their hands. When the Lord's order is issued, they arise and take the road. As is the order writ, so do they act. Nanak says, the mortals come in the world when they are sent and depart when they called back. Second Guru, they whom the Lord blesses with his praise, they alone are the true holders of the treasure. They who are granted the key, they alone obtain the treasure. The treasures from whom merits arise, they only are approved by the Lord. Nanak says, such have the God's grace as bear the mark of his name. Pauri, immaculate and pure is the Lord's name, hearing which peace is attained. Hearing and listening, one enshrines it in his mind, but rare is the one who realizes it. Down sitting and up standing, one is not to forget the truest of the true Lord. The name is the prop of the devotees, and by the name peace comes. Nanak says, the Lord is pervading our mind and body, and by the Guru's grace he is realized. Slok First Guru, Nanak says, if man puts hearty love in the hind scale, then alone can he be deemed to be of the full weight. Nothing can equal the utterance of the one name, which making mortal perfect, unites him with the perfect Lord. To call the Lord grand carries great weight. All else is light, understanding, and light utterances. Divine praise is weighty like earth, water, and mountains. How can a goldsmith weigh it in his scale of the small weights of tola, half tola, and a jacquetry? When questioned, he satisfies the questioner, says Nanak. The thoughtless men are blind, and blind is their endeavor. The more they say, utter, and talk, the more they expose themselves. First Guru, to utter the Lord's name is difficult, to listen to it is difficult. By uttering alone, the Lord is not realized. Some, the low and the high, with their mouth day and night speak of God and utter his name. If God be in some form, then something may be seen, but his form and kind cannot be seen. The Creator Lord does all the deeds, and he establishes all places high and low. Nanak says, it is difficult to utter the Lord's name. It cannot be uttered by the mouth. Pauri, by listening to the name, the mind is poised, and by the name comes peace. By listening to the name, the mind is stieated, and all sufferings are banished. By listening to the name, man is renowned, and by the name comes exaltation. By the name, one has all honor and caste, and through the name, salvation is obtained. Nanak says, by the Guru's guidance, name is meditated, and love for it is embraced. Slok First Guru, there is no impurity in music, nor is there any impurity in Vedas. There is no impurity in difficult phases of the moon and the sun. There is no impurity in grain, nor there is any impurity in ablution. There is no impurity in rain, which falls at all the places. There is no impurity in earth, nor is there any impurity in water. There is no impurity in air too. Nanak says, there is no merit in the man without a Guru, and one who turns away his face from the Guru, his face is defiled. First Guru, Nanak says, pure is the mouthful of the water if someone fully knows how to gargle it. For the man of wisdom, the mouthful of water is getting enlightenment, and for a yogi, chastity. For a Brahman, the mouthful is contentment, and for a householder of the truth and charity. For the king, the mouthful of water is to do justice, and for learned, the meditation of the holy truth. With the water, the mind is not washed, but by drinking it with the mouth, one's thirst is quenched. The water is the world's progenitor, and ultimately the water destroys all. Pauri, By listening to the name, all supernatural powers come and wealth follows the mortal. By listening to the name, man gets 9 treasures and his heart desired boons. By listening to the name, one attains contentment and mammon worships one's feet. By listening to the name, poise wells up and one easily obtains peace. By Guru's teaching, God's name is achieved, and Nanak says, mortal sings his praises. Slok First Guru. In pain man is born, in pain he dies, and in pain he deals with the world. Pain on the pain one is said to suffer hereafter. The more one reads and utters about it, more he wails. For him the packages of pain are opened, but no comfort emerges out of them. In pain the mortal burns, and in pain he departs bewailing. Nanak says, imbued with the Lord's praise, one's mind and body bloom. With the fire of pain, the mortals are put to death, but pain also becomes medicine. First Guru, Nanak says, the worldly revelment are but dust. They are all dust of dust and ashes. They dust of dust the mortal earns, and with dust he soils his body. When the life is taken out of the body, it goes filled with the dust of sins. Hereafter, when the account is asked for, he receives the 10 times more dust. Pori, by listening to the name, man is blessed with purity and self-control, and Yama does not come near him. By listening to the name, one's mind is illumined and darkness dispelled. By listening to the name, one realizes one's own self and attains the profit of name. By listening to the name, the sins are stilled and one meets the pure true Lord. Nanak says, by listening to the name, one's face becomes radiant. The Guru wards alone meditate on the name. Slok First Guru, the Brahman keeps in his home the idol of God with all other deities, gods. He worships them and bathes them. He offers them saffron, sandal and flowers. By falling at their feet, he greatly propitiates them. By begging from people, you wear and eat. For your dark deeds, you shall receive unforeseen punishment. The idol does not give anything to the hungry and does not save the dying. It is blind wrangling of the society of the blind. First Guru, all understanding, all yogas and all Vedas and Puranas, all deeds of penances, all the songs and wisdoms, all intellect, all ingenuities, all holies and all places, all kingdoms, all commands, all joys and delicacies, all mortals, all deities, all yogs and all meditations,